What's going on, world? Welcome to another edition of the Principles Podcast. My name is Kevin Jenkins. We have a great episode for you all today. Today, we're going to be talking about a little bit of the barbershop business, and I'm actually here with one of my a special guest, a good friend of mine, Ahmad Springer. What's going on, bro?
What's the deal?
It's good.
Excited to be here, man.
I appreciate that you even came on, man, to take the time to just dive into a good conversation, man, on your experiences with entrepreneurship and just kind of really just going into your mind frame of just creating a blueprint for yourself. Like many of you all know, this podcast is definitely every week. My goal is to give you all financial content in the areas of investing, business, and finance, while also giving you all financial principles that you all can apply in your daily life so you can be able to create a blueprint to create financial freedom for yourselves. With my boy AJ, his journey to entrepreneurship came a little bit, after college. I would say this is a long-term friend of mine. I've known him since like middle school. We grew up on
Uh,
the west side of Detroit, Michigan, and we definitely have some deep roots from just the way we were brought up. And for most of college and high school, I know AJ as a person that was mostly involved in sports. He played, the quarterback position for most of high school. I had the pleasure of playing with him in high school, sophomore year, and
yeah.
that was definitely some good times when we were young as kids. But in college, he graduated at Lindenwood University, which is a school in Missouri. If I'm sure, I think it's the
Yeah,
school
yeah.
in Missouri. And
Missouri.
he played the wide receiver position, so he had experience of being a student athlete, and he's had a lot of great experiences that we're going to touch on throughout this episode. To speed up to what he's doing now in 2020, his dream was to make it to the NFL, but even though the NFL didn't happen in the way that he wanted to, I've seen the passion and his work ethic and how he's turned that dream into his dream of having his own barbershop in the west side of Detroit. And it's also called it's Blended Kutz. And it just shows
Yes,
that his ambition, that he took the same work ethic that it takes to play college football, to play at the next level in the NFL. He's taking that same energy and he's putting it into something positive with creating a business for himself and his family. He also has a clothing store called Baggage Claim Boutique. That's also with inside of Blended Cuts. And also he has
hmm
Afya Hair Solutions, with many of you may know from the previous episode. He's a co-owner with Vince Peterson. So we're going to talk and discuss that throughout this episode. And I kind of the first question that I wanted to ask you is, tell the people a little bit about yourself and just your journey to you creating your own business.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm Ahmad Springer. I go by AJ the Barber, so y'all can call me AJ the Barber. Follow me on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
But what was the question? Okay, so yeah, basically how I got started. A little bit about me. I played college sports. I'm big into football. I love football. I graduated. I got my bachelor's degree in criminal justice. Um, I didn't coming out of college. I didn't really like the criminal justice field. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I tried TSA for a little bit, didn't work out, so I kind of went and did my own thing with entrepreneurship. But I always had a goal to be a millionaire by 30, and I knew a job probably wouldn't get me there. It could help. It could help. I'm not knocking 9 to 5. It could help, but I just knew what I wanted, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I started chasing that. But college groomed me for that. Like playing sports and all that groomed me to be an entrepreneur. And some people may not college, and college not bad at all.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a scam. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I think being there, being there on my own, having to do stuff on my own, having different experience with different roommates, different people. You know what I'm saying? It just groomed me to be the person I am today. That's why I think everyone should try college.
Yeah, I
So yeah,
agree. I mean, I,
that's a
I
little bit
tell
about me.
everyone that, college is, I mean, we understand that it is a $1 trillion debt issue with student loans, and I think that going to college is beneficial. I'm happy with the education that I have been able to obtain in my life. But I think that everyone should look at college as make sure that you go where you don't acquire a lot of debt. Like yourself, you got a full ride through football. So I think the biggest thing is for everyone out there, if you are looking to get into college, like look at ways of how you can get money to have your education paid for. Because there's nothing
Yeah.
better with coming out with a excellent degree that's a necessity in the marketplace in the field that you can use it and you don't have no debt at all that you have to pay for. It kind of keeps you in a cycle. So I think that college is definitely great. And self-education, you can never get too much of just self-education. Just even if you don't want to go to the traditional college route, you want to try to maybe go to trade school route, and pick up a niche where you can create your own product and service and sell it to someone. Those are options as well. But I
Mm-hmm.
agree. I think that college is important. So I kind of wanted to ask you, talk on how sports molded you into entrepreneurship. I mean, you can go back to the days, at Ref Reunion when we had those 2-a-day workouts.
Right.
Just talk about that whole mindset of preparing for a football game, how you took that same tenacity and it molded you into being an entrepreneur.
Yeah, football definitely. Sports in general
Yeah.
molded me into an entrepreneur because with sports is discipline. And discipline is not just you can't just be this. You got to live that disciplined lifestyle. And like
Mhm.
playing football, you got to be willing to work out every day. You got to be willing to eat right. You got to be willing to run. You got to be
Mhm.
willing to wake up in the morning. You got to be able to be a teammate. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
All that just helped me transition into being an entrepreneur. Like I'll be on it. Like in football in college, we had to be up at 5 in the morning to work out. You know what I'm saying? And that's just we have to do that. If you want to be great, you got to do the little things.
Yes.
And the little things help me build a business. Like I just figured out, okay, what do I have to do? I wrote it all down and I was on it. Like I wasn't getting up at 5 a.m., but like I
Yeah.
made sure I did all my tasks and everything I had to do to be great in entrepreneurship. You know what I'm saying? Like I worked so hard playing football, and I just took that same work ethic into and put it into like building the business, building businesses. You feel me? Like
Mhm.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't even lift weights no more. But
Exactly.
I work hard, but I work hard because I run 3 different businesses like every day. You feel me? So I
Mhm.
just transition that same work ethic and I put it into some my other passions. And I really got a passion for building businesses. Like it's actually fun to see something from scratch to see it like blossom and be what it is today. Like it's nice. I love it.
Yeah, it definitely is, man. I mean, that's the beauty of being an entrepreneur, just seeing your ideas manifest and being able to grow it into something that's substantial that can grow over a long period of time. So speaking of entrepreneurship, I wanted to ask, what has been the biggest challenge for you with running your own barbershop with blended cuts and also adding more recently the baggage claim clothing store that you have in your barbershop as well? What's the most, just the biggest challenge that you have seen since putting the clothing store in a barbershop?
The biggest challenge is really just maintaining everything.
Mhm.
Far as the barbershop, the hardest thing is just keeping right now, I would say keeping the chairs all the way full. Like I haven't even been in business a year and I was full at a point when I had someone leave because they found a better situation for them.
Mhm.
That's the biggest challenge with that. And then also dealing with the landlord, like he isn't the best. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like with him, he's a little more money hungry versus trying to make me comfortable because I am the tenant. I am the one putting the money into his pocket. So me personally, if I was a landlord, I would do anything in my power to make sure my clients, my tenants are comfortable because I'm a great tenant. My money, I pay every month on time. I keep the place clean. I even, you know what I'm saying, I put my money into it.
Yep.
Even the stuff that I feel like he should be taken care of, we ain't gonna argue about it. I get it done because I want it done. I like my stuff done when I want it done. So I ain't
Right.
gonna, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. But that's one of the biggest challenges I would say is just dealing with the landlord and not having everything how I want it. But
Yeah.
it's getting there. It's getting there because I handle business well, and we got a better relationship now than we did before. Because at first I just didn't think he was right, but we getting there. We getting good. As far as the clothing store, the biggest issue right now is inventory. Like
Mm-hmm.
we sell out so fast, and just gauging that inventory, man, and keeping everything, like keeping the shelves full. Like that's the biggest challenge right now because I can have 20 shirts. I can have a shipment of 20 shirts of one brand and it'll be gone that day. And then it's like that next day, it's like, dang, like y'all ain't got no shirts. And it's like, no, we ain't got. They took them all out. You know what I'm saying? We sold out.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing right now is like keeping the store full. Like, okay, having
Yeah.
stuff back in the vault to bring out when we do sell out. So
Yeah.
trying to really gauge that. Okay, we're gonna put out 10 shirts a day and see how to, and just to slow down, not slow down the traffic, but just to keep the shelves full. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we trying to gauge that right now. That's the biggest challenge so far. And
Yeah.
just the shipping, man. Shipping, getting those wholesale orders in, the shipping sometimes could take 2 months, man. That's the biggest issue when it comes to the clothing store. But other than that, everything is pretty good. With Afya, the biggest challenge so far is again dealing with distributors
Yeah.
who make um bottles and stuff.
Oh,
It's hard finding people who make good bottles and stuff like that because especially with COVID, man, it really set us back
yeah.
because a lot of stuff was on hold and it was just bad, man. COVID really hindered us for
Yeah.
on the end of Afya, on Afya's end. It
Obvious.
hindered us.
Yeah.
But that's been the biggest challenge so far with all three of those businesses.
Yeah. So I wonder, um, when it comes to like the inventory that you talked on with baggage claim, uh, does you and your team like forecast, like do you do most of your shipping within US or China? Like how do you do as far as your shirts that come in? Do you do most of the
Mhm.
um just the inventory, is it coming from an American facility or overseas?
Both. We got international and we got US. So we the baggage claim is a streetwear boutique. So we carry brands such as V-Long, Supreme, Bay, you know what I'm saying? Yeezy, we carry that kind of stuff. And
Mhm.
it's high end streetwear. So we got shirts going for $200, you know what I'm saying? And it's
Yeah.
coming from China. So we get 25 shirts from China. That's a big package. We get slides, we get flip flops, we get slides, vape slides, we got vape book bags, the crossbody bags, we get all that kind of stuff. And that stuff comes from Japan.
Yeah.
We got US stuff as well. And that usually, honestly, the crazy part, the international stuff comes faster than the US stuff. I don't know
I
why.
said that's crazy. A lot of people, I mean, I've heard that from different people. Like they say that when they're ordering something, they get it a lot faster. Especially when you talk about in the retail, the clothing industry, they tend
Mhm.
to get a faster response with shipments coming in overseas in China than like in America, which is
Yeah, I
crazy.
don't know why it's that way.
Yeah,
Maybe Japan and China, maybe they just handle their business better than we do in the
yeah,
US.
I
we
know.
be we be lacking.
Yeah. So I did kind of want to talk about as far as baggage claim. What came up? How did you come up with the idea, and just kind of like how did the vision come about with adding the streetwear clothing inside of the front of the store with the barbershop?
So when I first moved into the shop I own now, I the lady, I was working for a lady. She actually owned a salon. She owned a women's boutique called Fifth Ave Salon and Boutique. And I kind of watched her for. I was in there. I say about 6 months. I just watched her, watch how she ran the place. And when I got my chance, when she like, hey, you want your own shop? I'm like, yeah, what I got to do? Boom, boom. I went about and did what I had to do to obtain a shop. And while I was in that process, I'm thinking, hey, what could I do? And I'm like, you know what? I could just do men's clothes. I know. We live in Detroit. Detroit is a streetwear city. We love, you know what I'm saying, streetwear clothes, and we love bait, V-Long, all that kind of stuff. I think I'm gonna do that. So I called up my partner, which is my cousin. I'm like, hey, you think we should do the streetwear clothing boutique? He like, let's do it. So that's when we like, okay, we're gonna add that in the front. And as far as the name, I'm a big fan of Larry June. And
Yeah,
he was talking about baggage claim in one of his songs, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna name that the boutique baggage claim. And then my partner was like, yeah, that sounds dope. So I
yeah.
just went with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm bad at picking names, and that just stuck out to me. So I'm like, cool, let's go with it. I can always rebrand later if I don't like it, but I think
Yeah.
pretty much everybody kind of like it. So
Yeah,
that's
no,
how
I
it
think
came
it's a
about.
nice name, and it ties in nice. When you just talk about the business aspect of just baggage claim and just I like the overall message of it, how it ties in with the clothing. So I think
Yeah.
you guys got a great name with that with coming up with that concept. Now, for those that may not know, can you talk about just the business aspect of a barbershop as far as working at the level where, let's say, you may have a booth fee, you may have a person out there that works within a barbershop, but they don't own it. They just more they pay their booth fee, and then they have a certain amount of space that they have for clients to come in every month, and then they have an owner and then a landlord. Can you just talk about that process of just the business aspect of a barbershop, starting at that level all the way up to the landlord level, and kind of where you're at in that spectrum when it comes to ownership
So
in the barbershop?
all right, so now yeah, I own the barbershop. So the tenants, well, the guys who work in there, they pay me because I'm the owner of the barbershop, but I don't own the space. I don't
Yeah.
own the building. So I pay a landlord. And basically at first I was a person I was just a barber in there paying a booth fee as well. And
Yeah.
then I end up I was blessed, fortunate enough to obtain it. And now they pay me and I pay the landlord. I got my fee on it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like I don't have to be there to make money. I
Hmm.
do have to be there to make money for when it comes to cutting hair, but I don't got to be there physically to make money to, you know what I'm saying? Because what I rent the chairs out for, it handles the bills, and the rent, and all that kind of stuff. And it's a little left over sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So right
Yeah.
now, yeah, I'm just the owner of the barbershop right now. I'm working to become the landlord too and own the whole space. So
Yeah.
that way, now it's really all money in. You feel me?
Yeah. All
So
money.
we gonna get there. We gonna get there. God gonna bless us for sure.
For sure. We definitely gonna get there, man. One step at a time. But I think
Yeah.
you said one thing that was smart. Like, you started at the level where you paid a booth fee, but then you got in a position where your tenants is almost covering what you got to pay the landlord for the rent. So it's almost like, you're still having to maintain other things, I'm sure, within a barbershop, but most of your people that work in a barbershop are covering what you have to pay your landlord. It's no different if you have a real estate property. You have people that live inside of the property that may pay your mortgage or pay what you have to give to the landlord that
Right.
owns that property. So it's definitely genius, bro. And I think I can't wait to see when you get on the level of the landlord where you own the whole building. And I think you're just doing great. You're on the right journey. So
Yeah, that's
definitely
next.
we're
That's
gonna
coming
stay
soon.
tapped in with that. Now I did want to ask, talk on the transition of when you, I want to say it was probably back in, I want to say 2018, 2017, when you worked for TSA at the Detroit Metro Airport, and
Yeah,
you
2018.
kind of you were kind of just like really venting to me and Vince and saying like, man, should I jump out on this leap of faith and really walk fully in my purpose with creating my own barbershop? For people out there that may be stuck on, they don't know what they want to do as far as leaving their job and jumping into their entrepreneurial pursuit. Talk on your transition and how you were able to come up with that decision of saying, you know what, I'm about to focus solely on creating my own lane with the barbershop.
Right. So I was working with TSA for a minute, for about 6 months, man.
Mm-hmm.
And the money was good. I was going through the motions at the time. I'm still cutting hair as well. I go to work, come home, cut hair. And
Mm-hmm.
man, I just remember like I was tired, drained. I was I had a son. I want to spend as much time with my son, man. I'm just like, dude, what is? Like, I don't like the way I feel. I really don't like the way I feel. But I had to keep chugging because bills got to get paid, son got to eat. And I'm spiritual, man. You know what I'm saying? I got a great relationship with God. So I was just praying, like, God, give me a sign on what I should do. I want to go cut hair, but my clientele ain't all the way up there. I just came home from college. I got a couple heads I'm cutting, but I ain't cutting enough heads to where I can maintain. So I'm like, I was just praying. I'm like, God, just give me a sign on whether I should pursue barbering or I should stay here. And because at that time, also at TSA, I had applied for customs, and I was gonna move on to customs, go down, like move down to Texas or Cali and do like border patrol or customs.
Yeah.
And I got it. I had an interview and all that, and I was just praying like, God, just give me a sign on what I should do. And the sign came. I took this as a sign. I mean, obviously it worked out, but the government. Remember, the government had shut down.
No, shut down.
And
Yeah, I remember the
I was working
government
for the
shut down.
government, so we wasn't getting paid. And I'm like, hold on. So I got to go to work, spend all these hours at work, and I'm still not getting a check. And we don't know when the check gonna come. We don't know when we gonna get paid again. Like, I think not. So I'm like, I think this is my sign. So I resigned from TSA, man, and I started cutting in the basement. And then I had a homeboy I knew through playing like Madden and cutting hair as well. He like, man, I got a shop. You want some booths open? You want to come? You want to, you know what I'm saying? You want to rent out a booth? I'm like, yeah. And that's where it started from. From there, it's history. So I just say that if you got a relationship with God, like, man, pray about it, and just you'll get the signs. Eventually, stay true to you. Keep doing. You gonna know. Like a lot of people ask, like, how you know? Like honestly, I didn't know. I just went with it, man. I just went with it, and I'm not afraid to lose. I'm not afraid to lose because I mean, you can only lose so much. You know what I'm saying? And I'm young. I got a whole degree. If it don't work out, man, I can. I'm 27 years old, and at this time, I was 25, and it was like, man, if this don't work out, I got a degree I can fall back on. I could easily go over here and make 60K a year and build from there. That's why I honestly think like 9 to 5 is not bad. But just for me
Yeah.
personally, like I could no longer do it. And I just feel like this was one of the stepping stones because every in life is plenty steps. I just think right now, this is the step I'm on. This is the step that's gonna get me to where the level I want to be on. And right now, I just got to conquer this step, and then we're gonna move on.
Yep, I agree, man. I definitely agree with everything you said with that. Now, I did want to ask, talk on the persistence that it took from, cutting hair, whether it was during the time you worked at TSA, and balancing that, just cutting in the basement, to eventually getting the money that you need for the brick and mortar building for your barbershop. Like, how was that process where like how did you get the money, like for people that may didn't know how that went for you?
Mhm. So yeah, during that time, I was cutting, and I changed my lifestyle. I wasn't partying as much. I wasn't buying shoes, buying clothes, because as black people, we love to we love to shop. We love to shop. We love to spend money. We spend the most money in the world, and
Yeah.
just off growing up, you know what I'm saying, being in that environment, I used to spend a lot of money, and now I created a vision board. I'm getting my, you know what I'm saying, me, you, and Vince, we getting our head on straight. And it's just like, okay, I gotta change my lifestyle. So my lifestyle changed. And I also, man, I went to this spiritual lady that Vince put me on. She just read, like, she was like, you need to save because the opportunity gonna come and you gotta be able to capitalize on it. So now I'm saving, and it come around, I still don't got enough money. So I just reach out to a family member like, hey, this is what I got. I'm trying to make this move. If you can let me borrow this, I'll get this back to you because I got a plan. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that family member believed in me at the time, loaned me the money. I ended up doing what I had to do.
Yeah.
And everything worked out. I just hustled, grind, I changed my lifestyle, man. I stayed down, did what I had to do. I invested in myself, and my family member invested in me. They ended up getting paid off, and everything straight.
Yep. Yeah, man.
So
It's great to see, how you were prepared for the opportunity and you told your family like, okay, this is what I want to do. If you can help me with this vision, and you got the support. And I think that a lot of people, like, you got to be prepared to be able to capitalize on the opportunity. Like, make sure that if somebody come up and they ask you like, what exactly is your business? You know, what is your vision for your company? You have to kind of have a elevator pitch of just kind of what
Mm-hmm.
you do. You know what I mean? So people can already know a quick snapshot. You don't know. You may be talking to somebody that's in venture capital, and you're trying to project your idea to be able to get an investment. It's always good to be prepared to be able to capitalize. So I'm glad to hear that
Yeah, always.
you had people in your circle and your family that were able to give you the money to kind of get this up and running. Now I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about Afya Hair Solutions, kind of like I had mentioned earlier in the podcast how Vince said you actually came up with the idea. I kind of wanted to get your perspective on, why did you decide to create Afya Hair Solutions, and more specifically, did you always think that you were going to offer pomades for your clients?
No, I didn't. So it's crazy how this started. So my dad actually hit me up one day and he sent me a video on YouTube of this lady making like her own oil to put in her hair.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, hold on, I want to make my own too because I use other oils. I don't use the oil she used. I see how
yeah,
she mixed it, so I'm like, hold on, I use like three different oils. I'm like, she mixed all her oils. I'm like, I can mix all my oils. So I just start playing around, though, and I just, you know what I'm saying? I started mixing oils. I'm like, hey, Vince, try this, bro, because we at the time we was real big. We know we into waves and stuff like that. We breast jam, got pomades and all that. So I'm like, hey,
yeah.
try this oil, bro. He like, man, that oil amazing. You should sell it. So I started selling oil. I had bought a pack of like 24, and I had a pack of bottles of like 24 oil bottles. And I just made my own oil, put them all into the bottles, sold out within like 2 days. I'm like, man, I'm about to
That's
do it again. So
hmm
I sold out again. So I'm like, Vince, so once I sold out again, I'm like, what can I do to add on to this? I'm like, Vince, what you think about pomades, bro? He like, try it. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try it. Everything good. I'm like, hold on, bro. What you think about being my partner? Let's make this a real, you know what I'm saying? Let's make this a real business. He's like,
yeah.
I'm down. I'm like, so we sat down and figure out what it's gonna cost us to get this started. I came up with my half, he came up with his half, and we made it happen.
hmm
And from there on, we started adding, okay, we got body butter. Now we got body butter, shampoo, beard butter, and wave pomade, and oil. Now we got 5 products. It started off with just one.
Yep.
And we just be moving, stuff just be moving fast. And I just think overall, bro, it's just my relationship with God. Like I told you, I'm not perfect. I'm not a Christian. I'm not none of that. I just have a
Yeah.
good relationship with God, bro. I'm spiritual. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
believe in nature and all that stuff, man. I just really believe what you put out, it comes full circle. Like if you really put your mind on being successful, you're gonna be successful. I'm not saying it's gonna be an easy route because life is all about balance. But as long as you don't let your highs get too high and your lows get too low, you just stay in between and work hard, keep your head down, work hard, you inspire people, you give back, you love, you good. You gonna be everything gonna work out. Stuff gonna come to you in abundance because it's enough for everybody out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think, man, like where your focus goes, your energy flows, and as long as you're committed,
I like that.
as long as you're committed to the goal, and you have your mind and your thoughts lead with your actions, you're going to definitely get the results. And kind of like what AJ is saying, man, you just got to stay level headed, stay balanced, and just always just continue to like be aware of the energy that you're projecting, because usually what you get out is what you're going to get back all the
Yeah,
time.
all the
So
time.
I kind of wanted to talk on and discuss, looking at where the barbershop is at now from where you started. Did you always envision it where you were going to have three brands with blended cuts, baggage claim, and Afia, or did that kind of just pick up along the way as you started building from one thing?
Yeah. It kind of picked up along the way. I never envisioned it to be like that, but I just took what life threw me. When life give you lemons, you feel me, make lemonade. So I really just made lemonade. Like I said, like when I got the building, I could have just left it a barbershop and ran it out the front because it's the way the brick and mortar set up. When you first come in, it's a retail space, and in the back is, you know what I'm saying, salon barbershop. It was put together like that through from the previous owner, and I just basically got the space and took that space and just created my own lane. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because I was already I had already added the Afia while I was working for the other lady. I added that. while I was working with her. But then once she ended up leaving, I ended up obtaining the space. That's when I threw in, you know what I'm saying, the clothing store. And then I brought in all my products and put them inside the shop.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. And I think it's great to see the evolution of how everything just kind of builded from you just getting in a barbershop, and then you created these other lanes. And it just goes to show that you got to have the faith of a mustard seed. You knew that this was your purpose and what you wanted to develop your craft in, and to see it blossom, man, it's a blessing. And it's a testimonial to everybody out there to know that, you know, as long as you keep your faith in God, anything is possible, nothing is impossible, and that it will come to fruition. It just takes, you know, you taking a leap of faith and really walking in your vision, and not being not having any fear, but just moving against fear and moving with faith. So, you know, I just love the journey, man. And what's the long-term vision for all three brands? Like, where do you see it? Let's just say 2025, you know, are you going to add more product lines to Afya? Do you want to try to get your clothing store in the actual retail space? Like, what are some long-term vision ideas that you thought of that you want to do to expand your businesses?
Honestly, the way it's going now, I will want to just maybe make, because the building right now isn't that big. I would just want to
Yeah,
maybe expand on that. I like how it's all in one, because like I can have a customer come get a haircut, then ooh, bro, let me get some beard oil. Then hold on, let me go get an outfit for tonight. I like that all in one. Me like, say someone come in to get clothes, and like, hold on, I want this outfit. Let me get a cut real quick. You know what I'm saying? I like how it's all tied in, because it's a men's boutique with a barbershop. It's just all in one. Then I got all these products. It's just really like a one-stop shop, and I really like that idea. So I wouldn't want to separate it and put it somewhere, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we're gonna get another building and make it a big clothing store. Okay, we're gonna get another building and make it a big barbershop. Like, I wouldn't want to do that. I would rather get a big building and just make it a bigger barbershop and a big clothing store all in one.
yeah. No,
Cause
I
I
get what you're saying. You just want to increase the space of the building and just
correct.
continue to make it a one-stop shop where you can come in, you can get a cut. If you're a woman, you can get your hair done. You have the clothing
Hmm.
store. You have the Afia that provides different hair and skincare product lines. So I think that's genius, man, on how I think that would be great, just having a bigger space where you're able to just do more for what you already have.
Yeah.
So kind of talk on just the importance of vision boards. You know, I know I'm a big proponent of it. Me and you have collabed on different ideas, especially with what we work on with our real estate company with Affluent Properties. Just talk on the importance of vision boards and kind of how that shaped your vision to where you see it at, where it's at now in your life.
Vision board, man. I ain't gonna lie. I was just doing it because at first somebody in the book said do it. So I was just going with the
Yeah,
emotions, but it's really real. Like, I
yeah,
look at my vision board now every day, and I really manifested a lot of stuff on there already, and I'm still going, you know what I'm saying? I update it here and there, but it's real important because it just keep your mind focused. Like you say, where your focus goes, energy flows. And it's easy in this world, it's easy to get sidetracked because we got so much going on around us. And it's
yeah,
easy to get sidetracked and fall off into other stuff. But that vision board keep you right in line on what you said you wanted to accomplish, to keep you in line with your goals. I see it every day. Every day when I wake up and I see financial freedom. Like, so I'm waking up and when I get up, I see that, I know I'm chasing financial freedom. I wake up, I got a picture of my son. I got a picture of me, like me holding my son, and I wake up and I see that, like, okay, I gotta be a great father every day. You know what I'm saying? I wake up and I see barbershop. I wake up and I see the Corvette, and I chase that every day because that's my dream car. I see my dream house. I got checks up there of how much I want to get paid, and I wake up and I chase that every day because I see it every day, and it's just important. Because
yeah,
eventually, it's gonna break through. You keep going and going and going, it's gonna break through. I just say, like Nipsey said, he just never gave up. If you really want it, just don't give up. It may not happen now. Everything happened in divine order, but it's gone. Especially if it's for a good cause. Now, if it's just some loony stuff, then yeah. But if it's for a good cause, it's gonna happen. It's gonna work out in your favor.
yeah. No, I agree, bro. I think that the vision boards is powerful, man, on being able to take your ideas and just visualize. Like, people don't understand, like, the manifestation, the creating stage is one of the first things that you can do to actually manifest your goal. And then, being able to put the actions into it, but it all comes from the mind. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
What you do with the mind, the body is going to follow from what you're thinking,
Correct.
and visualizing. So that's just the mindset that you got to have. I got a vision board myself, and actually, before I went away to business school, I put on my vision board that, I want to get an MBA. This is the specific pictures that I took. I put it on there, and it eventually manifests for me. So I think that the vision boards, man, everyone out there, you should definitely have one if you don't. So for people out there that may be looking to want to have their own barbershop, they have aspirations of being a barbershop owner. What advice can you give them from your perspective of where you're at in your journey?
I say if you're looking to become or have your own barbershop, I would say just for right now, be in a barbershop and just learn that environment and pick up on the things that they not doing that you would want them to do or that you would do. Just pick, like, sit down and nitpick, like, okay, this how he running it. I wouldn't want to run that. I would want to do this. I would want to do that, and just practice. Like me, when I was before I received it or before I obtained it, I was speaking it into existence. I was saying, I was coming in, I was saying, I want my own barbershop. I'm gonna have my own barbershop one day. I'm cleaning up, I'm folding towels, I'm washing towels, I'm making sure I'm doing everything I would do as if it was mine. I'm doing it already. So my advice is to anybody, I would say, like, just create it. Like you said, create it with your mind. Create that environment with your mind while you in there. Like I say, nitpick, like brainstorm on how you want to run your shop. And in the meantime, in between time, while you doing that, build. You don't look at build, just look at spaces. You know what I'm saying? Create that. Go home and draw your barbershop. Draw it up. You draw how you want mirrors. Draw what kind of chairs you want. Look up what kind of chairs you want. Look up what kind of capes. Look up. Start thinking about a name. Just like create that shop in your mind. You'll get it.
Yeah, that's important, man. Just creating the environment before it even happens for you. You putting that energy out there into it, that's what's going to make it, manifest and be a reality. So I kind of wanted, the last question that I wanted to ask you is, like, what are some principles that have shaped you as a person today?
Some principle that shaped me as a person today. My mom, my dad, my grandparents, but they really just instilled in me, like, being straightforward,
Hmm.
being on time with stuff, love. That's probably one of the main things. Just love, man. I got a loving spirit. I ain't the nicest person in the world. Like, I be getting mad sometimes and stuff, but like at the end of the day, I got love for everybody. You feel me? And
Yeah.
I just try to treat people. I try to treat people how I would want to be treated. I try to handle business, you know what I'm saying, the right way. I try to great customer service. I try to accommodate people. Like, if I'm late, I'll try to, okay, I'm sorry I'm late. Next haircut on me, or this haircut on me. You know what I'm saying? I try to accommodate people, try to
Yeah.
make people feel comfortable, and just being solid, man. Being disciplined. That's one of the main things. How I was raised, man. I was my family is real disciplined. They was like hard on me as far as being, you know what I'm saying. Like, my grandfather growing up, it wasn't no you could play outside of summer, but you're gonna go learn a trade. You're gonna go learn how to do something, this, and that. You're gonna learn instead of just paying people to do stuff all the time, you're gonna learn how to do something. So that way one day you may, you know what I'm saying, turn something lucrative. You may figure out something to do and monetize it, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's some of the principles I was raised on. I said being disciplined, love, treat people how you want to be treated,
Yep.
always being honest, man.
Honest.
That's some of the principles, yeah.
Yeah, man. I think all of those are spot on. I think when it comes to being honest, like, I always feel like, no matter how I'm as a person within business, just how I am, I want to be a man of integrity. Just making sure that, like you said, standing behind what you said you're gonna do. You're honest in your approach. If you said it, this is the way it's supposed to be. You standing behind that vision on it. You're not gonna waver back and forth. And I think the discipline, man. that's a principle that everyone should take, just not only in their lives, own personal lives, but that can be applied in business. You know, being an entrepreneur, you have to have discipline and patience to know that um, your vision of, you know, having a successful business takes time, and that you have to build it brick by brick, and you have to have
Mm-hmm.
the discipline and the sacrifices to be able to make conscious decisions that are going to allow you to get to that successful vision that you have for your business. But it all comes with the discipline and the patience to get there. So I definitely, man, I took a lot out of this episode, bro. Just being able to
Yeah.
conversate with you and learn more about your journey to entrepreneurship and what you're doing, you know, with baggage claim, also with blended cuts and Afia, is commendable, man. And I want to tell you, bro, I really appreciate you, you know, getting on the show
I
tonight.
appreciate you for having me, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate you having me. They don't know all the hard work we done put in, man.
man. Facts.
Me, you, and Vince, man, we done
Facts.
had so many talks, so many, you know what I'm saying? Our manifestation Fridays, we calling each other at 9 in the morning. Like,
Uh-huh.
all that stuff really paid off. And y'all helped me a lot. Y'all helped me stay on my A game a lot. You feel me?
Even
Like
with
we always
reading,
say,
like
iron
you
sharpen
mentioned,
iron. Even with
even
reading,
with
man,
iron
all
sharp.
them books we done read,
Yeah.
iron
Yep.
sharpen iron, bro. And honestly, I probably wouldn't even really be who I am today without y'all. You feel me? Because
Vice
y'all
versa.
really uplifted me, and you know what I'm saying, helped me become better. So,
Vice
uh,
versa, bro. I mean, I remember when we was first, like when we first was getting into reading, and when you first was getting into reading, you asked me and Vince, he was like, "Yeah, man, what are some good books?" And I remember just all those talks, man, of us just sharing great ideas, and even our experiences with doing a podcast together with our book club. I think that, man, we have, like you said, iron sharpens iron. It's good to have your master circle, have a mastermind, just have people in your circle that genuinely want to see the growth and see you succeed, and that also hold you accountable. You know, when things aren't going the way that you know you want it, you have someone that actually can speak up and you know, tell you, give you constructive criticism. So you know, I appreciate you in my life, man. You've helped me a lot too, bro, in business and just in life as a man. And I kind of wanted to just end the episode by just telling you all, if you could also follow my Instagram. It's Kevin Jenkins. You can follow me on there. I drop content every week in the different areas of just financial content. Also, I'm going to put my link tree in the notes so you all can have access to listening to this on Apple Podcasts. It's on all platforms, so you'll be able to listen to this, and along with the video version that you'll see on YouTube. And then AJ, did you kind of want to give your social media just outlets for everything for
yeah, yep.
your businesses?
So, yeah, so for my barber page is AJ the Barber 9. Y'all can follow me on there, book an appointment if y'all in the city, or even if y'all in Florida. I'll fly
Yeah.
out there and cut y'all, you feel me? Or y'all can come to the city, get cut, all that good
Mhm.
stuff. Y'all
Yep.
can follow my boutique page, Baggage Claim Boutique. Also, you can follow my hair solutions page, Afya Hair Solutions. That's AFYA Hair Solutions. That's on Instagram, Afya Hair Solutions. And Baggage Claim, y'all know how to spell that. Baggage Claim Boutique on Instagram. I appreciate y'all, and I appreciate you for having me, bro.
No problem, bro. Well, thank you all for tuning in to the Principles Podcast, and you all take care.
Gone.